Hello friends, Tanya here for Trinity Stamps, and today I am using some Easter themed stamp sets to create some non-Easter cards. Now this particular image here is the Slimline Chicks, and I had stamped it just in play in yellow ink, in the Bee Sting Yellow Atelier ink, and then I decided to put some clear embossing powder over that and heat set it and just see if it worked with the Atelier ink, and it did. It was great. And then I decided, well, let's do some ink blending over it, because why waste a perfectly good image? And I pulled out my current favorite blending combo, the Sweet Petunia Pink, the Marigold Orange, and the Bee Sting Yellow. And I got busy blending those. Now I didn't use the Blending Buddy this time because I wanted a pretty heavy application of ink. So I pulled out my ink daubers, just the felt ones, and did the ink blending. And I did wipe off excuse me, the embossing with a damp towel before I sprinkled it with some water, followed by some liquid pixie dust. I do keep the inks and the liquid pixie dust in my palette here, and I use them frequently to paint and to spatter with. Look at that shine. I like the way the liquid pixie dust will lay right over the embossing even. I'm going to take which one is it? The Clean and Simple Mini Slimline die set and cut out a panel here. And a 3x6 piece of cardstock that is scored at 3 inches and folded in half to make a mini slimline card. I had a little extra paper from that panel that I cut out, and I did cut it down to fit inside of this card to decorate the inside. I also used the scalloped panel from the mini slimline envelope die set, and I glued that to the front. I added a little oh, here I am finding the sentiments that I want to use. I'm going to use this as a cheer up card. I put a little bit of coaster blank behind my image panel, and I'm adhering that, and it fits right inside the stitched lines on that scallop panel. And I have these two little ducks, chicks, coming out of the shell. The first one's upside down, and this says feeling upside down. I put a little bit of chipboard behind each of those because I really do like my dimension, and I'm gluing those to the front, and I thought that they stood out enough that I didn't need to do anything extra special. I'm going to take the second part of the sentiment and this right side up chickie and glue him inside along with that sentiment. I don't know about you, but I know a lot of people who are really into poultry, as in they love to get chicks and raise them, and they sell their eggs, and they look for new varieties of poultry, whether it be chickens, ducks, geese. I have a coworker right now who's looking for peacock chicks. If you have any leads on those, let me know. I am adding some of these delightful halfback pearls, which are currently sold out. They are so adorable. I think these were the flashy flamingo ones. I put one of each size so you can see the decreasing size trail away. I think this is going to be an adorable encouragement card to someone. And I don't know if you know this, but Trinity Stamps has an angel stamp and angel policy stamp set with the copyright for Trinity Stamps. So if you are someone who enjoys selling your cards, then this is a must-have. I actually really like this because it helps if you are giving cards to friends who also stamp. This helps them know where your stamps come from so they can get them if they'd like. Now we're moving on to the second card. I've got this adorable gnome from the Gnome Bunny stamp set, and we're going to color him up. I haven't included much of the coloring lately, and I thought I better throw it in at least once in this month. So I'm using my Copic markers here, And I will put a list in the description box of all of the colors that I used, just because it takes a whole lot less time than adding it in the video. And I don't honestly remember which colors I used. I'm using a peachy orange or a peachy red and a couple of yellows here to do a graduated coloring here. And this time, instead of bunny ears, I'm trying to make these look like a bow tied in the top of his hat, which is coincidentally what I originally thought it was. Yes, I did not read the title of the stamp set. I just started playing with it when I got it. Now I'm going for a darker skin tone this time, and I had too much of a difference between the tones, and I did start out with a peachier color. I think that's E01 maybe, as a a pinkening color underneath to make it look more like a real flesh tone. Otherwise it looked too cool of a color. I am adding it to the fingers here now that I've figured out exactly how I wanted to do that. I believe that's the E50 series. I think it was probably E55, 57. Yeah, E53, 55, 57 probably. And then this is the E30s. I think it's E34 and E35 for his little boots. And I used W's, WOO and W1, I think, to do his beard. I just really like the gnomes to have a yellow, or excuse me, not a yellow, a white beard. I don't know why. Maybe because it doesn't take as much coloring and I can be a little bit wanting to hurry up with that. And I don't have the dies yet. They are on pre-order. And hopefully they'll be available soon because I would much rather do a die, but these are definitely doable for fussy cutting. It didn't take me very long to cut out all three of these images. The gnome with his cute bow-tied hat, the little flower, which I'm zipping through here, and the little chick, which he is holding in his hands. I love that that's a separate piece because you can interchange it. There's an egg or there's the chick that you can use. We're going to put that right in the center of his hat, and then we're going to cut out our little chick. Now you could skip the curl. I kept the curl in because I think it's adorable. And I know that you could maybe think that the fingers are grass, and that would be a cute way to color it too. Now we're going to do the background panel. I started with a light yellow cardstock. I honestly think that's a retired, like Barely Banana or something from a company that you may be familiar with, but it's been long retired. It was a scrap in my scrap bin, and I'm using, again, pink, orange, and yellow. This is two tones though. I wanted to use two tones, so I pulled out my Distress Oxides, and that is Kitsch Flamingo and Picked Raspberry for the pink, Spiced Marmalade and Crackling Campfire for the orange, and Scattered Straw and Mustard Seed for the yellow. And I'm going through with the Slimline Balloons stencils. These are a layering stencil set. So you laid one layer down and it overlaps beautifully with the second layer. I'm also going to do some spattering with the Atelier ink refills, and I'm using the Bee Sting Yellow, Marigold Orange, and the Sweet Petunia Pink, along with the liquid pixie dust. Just spattering those all on quick. I think that adds a fun confetti look without having to do the extra work of another set of stencils. Next, I pulled out that Clean and Simple mini Slimline Panels die set, and believe it or not, the Scripty Holidays. I wanted the happy word for this, so I'm using some mirror cardstock. I believe this is Rose Platinum to cut out the actual happy part, and then I'm going to cut out the shadow part with a vellum strip. I pulled both of these out of my scrap bin. It's super fast and easy to do those, and I enjoy using these because they have such a great impact on your card. And having a nice fine tip glue to apply them to each other is just a dream. I really like the Barely Arts Precision Glue. There is, I believe, a Hero Arts Precision Glue in the store that works just as well. I just carefully apply this and then flip it over so I don't get my inky fingers all over the front, because that would be awful. Just do a little tweaking to make sure it's all lined up appropriately. Then I pulled the a sentiment for almost everything stamp set. And what I wanted this to say is Happy New Baby. So I'm going to combine a couple of sentiments from that stamp set to get what I want. I'm going to use a couple of tricks to get that to happen. I put a piece of white cardstock in my MISTI, and I'm using one of the alignment tools for this MISTI, and got those lined up with each other. Now I'm going to mask off part of that sentiment with a piece of washi tape. Going to ink it up with my VersaFine Onyx Black. Make sure I take the tape off and then stamp my sentiment. I'm going to take the banner from the 4-bar card builder die set. It has a couple of banners in there that are perfect for just about every sentiment in that sentiment set. So it's an invaluable die set. I have put a little bit of coaster blank behind that panel that I cut out. I adhered that. This one's a little bigger. I was hoping it was going to fit in the envelope builder card, envelope, mini envelope die envelope. Yeah, I think I can talk. I think you know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, I thought it would fit in that envelope, but it is just a smidge, especially with all of my dimension, just a smidge too big for the envelope. I will just have to make an envelope another way. So I adhered all of these with my glue, just a couple more pieces. Got to make sure our little chick in his hands goes on and the little flower on his head. And you could add a bunch of embellishments on this too, but I thought I would take it easy with that. Here is our little upside down chick again, and you can see a close-up of all of the details on this card. I would love to hear which ones you loved best. If you're tired of my color combo, or if you have actually decided you want to give it a try too, let me know if you have other great ideas to use your Easter themed Easter themed stamp sets with. It would be so fun to see what else you all make. I'm so happy you stopped by. Check the description box below for the products I used, and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, bye-bye.